Enlightenment and the law of karma, cause and effect. In the path of liberation, introduction among the most profound contributions of the Buddha's teaching to world philosophy and spirituality is the doctrine of karma, Sanskrit, karma, Pali, karma, and its intimate relationship with enlightenment bodhi. Karma is not merely a mystical notion of fate or divine punishment, as often misunderstood, but a precise principle of cause and effect operating in the moral and psychological sphere of existence. Every intentional action, whether of body, speech, or mind, creates consequences that shape one's character, experiences, and future rebirths. Enlightenment, by contrast, is the radical freedom that arises when one penetrates the truth of karma, transcends its binding power, and realizes the unconditioned state of nirvana. This essay will explore the deep interconnection between karma and enlightenment. We will examine the Buddhist understanding of karma, how it influences the cycle of rebirth, samsara, the way spiritual practice purifies karmic tendencies, and how enlightenment dissolves karmic bondage. Furthermore, we will consider perspectives across the Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana traditions, and reflect on the practical implications of karma for modern life. 1. The nature of karma in Buddhist thought. Karma is intentional action. Satana the Buddha clarified that it is not mere physical movement or involuntary occurrence that constitutes karma, but the volitional quality behind it. A thought of greed, hatred, or delusion creates unwholesome karma, while an act of generosity, compassion, or wisdom produces wholesome karma. Karma operates through 3 dimensions: bodily action, kaya, karma, physical deeds such as killing, stealing, or offering help; verbal action, vc kama, speech, including lying, slander, harsh words, or truthful, kind speech; mental action, monokama, thoughts, intentions, and attitudes, which are often the most powerful in shaping consciousness. These karmic actions yield fruits, vipaka, manifesting as experiences in this life or in future rebirths. A mind dominated by greed will experience dissatisfaction and rebirth in states of suffering. A mind cultivated in compassion will incline toward joy and liberation. 2. Karma and the cycle of rebirth. Karma is the engine that drives samsara, the endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. According to Buddhist cosmology, beings are reborn in various realms: hell, hungry ghost, animal, human, demigod, or heavenly, depending on the karmic seeds they have sown. However, even in favorable realms such as the human or divine existence is marked by impermanence, anicca, suffering, dukkha, and non-self, anatta. Karma may produce temporary joy, but it does not resolve the fundamental problem of cyclic existence. Only insight into the nature of reality can end the cycle. Thus, while karma explains why beings are in their present conditions, enlightenment represents the end of karmic bondage. The Buddha's teaching reveals a path from being controlled by karma to becoming free from its binding effects. 3. Karma and ethical responsibility. The law of karma establishes a profound ethical framework. Unlike systems that depend on divine judgment, Buddhism places moral responsibility squarely on the individual. One cannot escape the consequences of one's actions, nor can one blame an external deity. This has several implications. Self-reliance. Each person is the heir of their own karma. One's life is shaped not by chance, but by intentional deeds. Compassion and accountability. Recognizing that harmful acts rebound upon oneself encourages restraint and empathy. Empowerment, since future karma can be shaped by present intentions. One is never permanently bound by the past. Transformation is always possible. Thus, karma is not fatalistic, but dynamic, constantly unfolding, and subject to change through mindful practice. 4. The path of practice. Purifying karma. The Buddha's Eightfold Path can be seen as a systematic process of purifying karma. Right view, understanding the law of karma and the Four Noble Truths. Right intention, cultivating renunciation, nil will, and harmlessness. Right speech, abandoning lies, harsh speech, divisive talk, and idle chatter. Right action, refraining from killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct. Right livelihood, avoiding trades that harm beings. Right effort, abandoning unwholesome states and cultivating wholesome ones. Right mindfulness, developing awareness of body, feelings, mind, and phenomena. Right concentration, deepening meditation to purify the mind. Each step not only prevents the creation of new unwholesome karma, but also weakens the grip of past tendencies. Meditation in particular allows latent karmic seeds to arise and be seen with wisdom, dissolving their binding power. By 5. Enlightenment as freedom from karma. Enlightenment, Bodhi, is the state where the chain of cause and effect that binds one to samsara is broken. This does not mean karma ceases to operate altogether. Rather, for the enlightened one, new karmic seeds are no longer sown. The Buddha used the metaphor of a fire. Karma is like fuel, and craving is the flame. When craving is extinguished, the fire goes out, even if some residual fuel remains. Similarly, an arahant may still experience the results of past karma, such as bodily illness, but no new karma is generated. Thus, enlightenment is described as the state where one becomes karmically inert, no longer compelled by greed, hatred, or delusion. It is the end of rebirth and the realization of nirvana, lil, mobiana. Perspective, karma, and the bodhisattva, path in mobiana Buddhism. The relationship between karma and enlightenment takes on a broader dimension. The bodhisattva, motivated by bodhicitta, the awakened mind of compassion, willingly remains in sasr, ra, to assist other beings. For the bodhisattva, karma is embraced skillfully. Instead of seeking personal release alone, they transform karma into opportunities for compassion, merit punya. Through acts of generosity, patience, and wisdom, bodhisattvas accumulate merit, which they dedicate to the enlightenment of all beings. Prajak wisdom, realizing the emptiness niyat of all phenomena, the bodhisattva sees that karma, like all things, lacks inherent existence. This allows one to act without attachment, generating karma that liberates rather than binds. Thus, Mabina reframes karma not only as a binding force, but as a tool for universal liberation. 7. Vajrayana, perspective, transforming karma rapidly. Vajrayana, or Tantric Buddhism, karma is viewed with urgency, since the human life is precious and fleeting. Vajrayana introduces powerful meditative and ritual techniques to purify karma swiftly. Examples include visualization practices invoking enlightened deities to dissolve karmic obscurations, mantra recitation purifying speech and mind through sacred sound, guru yoga merging one's mind with the teacher's wisdom to accelerate transformation, Dzogchen and Maimudreb, direct recognition of the luminous nature of mind beyond karmic conditioning. The Vajrayana ideal is not to be bound by karma, but to transform it into the path, seeing all appearances, pleasant or painful, as expressions of enlightened energy. 8. The interplay of karma and liberation. The dynamic between karma and enlightenment can be summarized in 3 stages. Ordinary beings, bound by karma, experiencing joy and suffering according to deeds. Practitioners on the path, purifying karma, weakening defilements, generating wholesome actions. Enlightened beings, free from the compulsion of karma, acting spontaneously with compassion. In this progression, karma is first seen as a binding chain, then as a moral compass, and finally as an empty phenomenon transcended in wisdom. 9. Karma in daily life, practical reflections. The teaching of karma is not abstract, but profoundly relevant to modern life. Personal responsibility. In an age where blame is easily shifted, karma reminds us that we are responsible for our intentions. Mindfulness of speech and action. Recognizing the karmic impact of words encourages more compassionate communication. Social justice. While karma explains individual circumstances, it does not justify passivity in the face of suffering. Compassion requires us to act skillfully to improve collective karma. Hope for transformation. Even those with painful pasts can create new futures by cultivating wholesome actions today. Thus, karma serves as both a moral law and a pathway to freedom when integrated with mindfulness and wisdom. 10. Enlightenment, the transcendence of karma. Ultimately, enlightenment is not about creating good karma to enjoy better rebirths, but about transcending the karmic system itself. The Buddha taught that both wholesome and unwholesome karma bind beings to existence like golden chains versus iron chains. Only wisdom that sees the impermanence, suffering, and non-self of all conditioned phenomena cuts through the cycle completely. For the enlightened one, karma is no longer binding. Actions arise spontaneously from compassion, not from attachment. Life becomes an expression of wisdom and compassion, free from fear of future rebirth. Conclusion. The relationship between karma and enlightenment lies at the heart of Buddhist philosophy. Karma explains why beings suffer and how intentional actions shape destiny. Enlightenment, on the other hand, is the radical freedom that comes when one fully understands and transcends karma. Theravada emphasizes the cessation of karma through insight into impermanence and non-self. Mabhyena reinterprets karma as a vehicle for compassion, with bodhisattvas dedicating their merit for all beings. Vajrayana provides powerful methods to transform karma rapidly through direct recognition of the mind's nature.